It's Friday, February 7th, and this week started with some very cold temperatures, especially with the wind, chill, and snow.
Definitely not fun in the mornings for sure. Hey Parker, did you know February 2nd was Groundhog Day?
I heard it mentioned, but I guess I didn't hear the groundhog's prediction results this year.
Well, unfortunately, Phil, the famous groundhog who lives in Gobbler's Knob, Pennsylvania, saw a shadow. February 2nd is halfway between the winter solstice and spring equinox. This national holiday is a prediction of 6 more weeks of winter or 6 more weeks of summer. And I guess the snow and winter conditions are supposed to stick around a little bit longer.
I guess we will see if his prediction turns out to be true.
This week at Shelby High School, the Howl reporters covered several events and field trips. We also interviewed Dan McDonough, who just started as Shelby's Student Resource Officer.
Last Friday, Mr. White and Mr. Lee took FFA students on a ski day field trip to Teton Pass Resort, which is only 30 miles west of Choteau, Montana.
Junior high and high school students, ranging in experiences, spent the last day of January enjoying the slopes.
While some parents, teachers, and students may question missing core classes in order to attend a ski trip, there is a growing body of evidence that suggests outdoor activities are especially important in the winter.
Interesting. Why is it so important? I know a lot of students are still doing sports in the gym and staying active.
Surprisingly, just staying active isn't enough. With fewer hours of sunshine and plummeting temperatures, the amount of time spent outdoor tends to be considerably lower compared to other seasons.
Outdoor activities like ski trips are important to people's overall health. We found out that there are several benefits, like absorbing the much-needed vitamin D we get from sunshine, and the fresh air is important for lung function. According to the University of Michigan, sunshine, fresh air, and social outdoor activities contribute to positive mood and mental health during the winter months.
Researchers say factors like climate, access to outdoor activities, and personal preference all play a role in the time people spend outdoors. There is an interview with 2 students who find value in being outdoors, staying socially connected, and being active even in the cold winter months.
So last Friday we went up to Teton Ski Hill with our FFA class, and it was pretty refreshing going up there after we haven't. Last time I went was at Showdown, and it's kind of good to go close. And I like going with the FFA class because it's a lot more affordable to do that because there's like school discounts and all that stuff.
The weather was really nice, no wind or anything. It was just a really good day.
The Shelby High School seniors went on a trip to Helena to learn more about the government.
The legislative session started in January and will go through April of 2025 to propose bills and changes to state laws. The session was on break when the seniors visited. However, they did tour the Montana Capitol building and Governor's Mansion.
Where did you go for the trip?
We went to Helena. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, we went to the Capitol and we also saw the governor's mansion.
What was your favorite part of the trip?
Definitely the mansion.
The mansion with the guy.
The
That
guy was
funny.
hilarious.
The new law passed nearly 3 years ago, which requires Montana graduates to take a half credit in financial literacy. Starting next year, all students will need to.
We talked to our business and computers teacher, Ms. Fisher, to see why these changes were made and how it will affect the students in the future.
I teach personal finance, and we start out with basic banking. We do budgeting, checking, savings, taxes, investing, insurance, buying a car, buying a home, all of those things. So it'd be pretty similar. Credit, we'd add a lot more credit to it, and the dangers of credit. We already do that, but really making sure the kids know the dangers of those things. It's been like a long time coming. The states throughout the country have slowly been going that way. I think there's about 30 some states that also require that. There's been a lot of people in the financial world that have been making a push for it, so I would guess that's why we finally have made that choice in Montana.
How do you feel about this change?
I'm really excited about it. I think financial literacy and personal finance skills are things that every student should leave high school with. Every student needs those skills in adulthood. And so I'm really excited now that every kid will get the opportunity to take that class.
Hey Coyotes, it seems like the culinary arts class was busy these past few weeks.
Right you are. This week they have been baking pies, and a lot of students were interested in the delicious smell coming from the home ec room.
I know I was for sure. We have a few interviews from some students in that class that will explain what they do and why they do it.
We also got a special from Mrs. Kovach herself. Enjoy.
What have you been cooking lately?
We just finished a week long of making pies. We actually baked our last apple pie this morning with 2 other students.
What techniques have you been teaching?
I have 6th grade through high school, so I have a lot of techniques I teach. 6th grade I try to start more with just the basics. They have a little recipe book, 4 different recipes, learning to measure and using dry measurements and liquid measurements or something I try to do with them. Setting the table is another big thing, and how the correct way to set a table. As far as culinary arts students, we just try to make with our for example, our pies. They had to make their pie crust from scratch. They had to make their filling from scratch. You know, it wasn't the convenience foods that we see today.
What techniques have you learned?
I learned how to roll the dough, I suppose.
Yeah, you gotta learn how to use like the mixing machine.
Yeah, knead it.
Yeah, and like kneading it, it's really annoying, dude. You got like flour on your hands.
Knead it.
Oh my god, it's so messy.
I hate knead it, dude.
Why do you think this class is valuable?
You get cook, you know, for your spouse.
For anybody, man. It's good. It's good to know how to cook. I like to cook.
Yeah,
Shane cooks all the time.
You won't get a spouse if you don't know how to cook, you know?
This guy cooks.
I cook.
Well, who do you give your extra food to?
D-Bone over here. D-Tron.
And I love it when Shane
Cookie Slayer.
Yep.
The Cookie Slayer.
Okay, thank you.
One of the science classes taught by Mr. Palmer has recently got a new pet.
In the past, other zoology classes have had and taken care of their class pets.
Originally, there were 2 pet tarantulas that zoology had to take care of.
Now they have a new responsibility that will help them learn more about animals.
Here is Mr. Palmer with more on the new animal project.
What is the new animal you got for your zoology class?
It is a ferret.
What is the name of your ferret?
Michael named it Limp Biscuit.
What do you need to do to take care of your ferrets?
Convince my zoology class to take care of it.
How do you think having a class pet benefits your zoology class?
It's supposed to teach them responsibility.
Recently, Chief Deputy and Student Resource Officer Dan McDonough started providing service to the students of Shelby Public Schools. Student Resource Officers are assigned to school districts to maintain safety, investigate incidents, educate students on legal matters, and most importantly, to build positive relationships with students and staff.
Officer McDonough has been in law enforcement for 14 years, and we want to give him a warm coyote welcome.
Born and raised from Shelby. I've lived here. I graduated from here. So coming back, I've been gone for about 20 years. And I had a bunch of different jobs in law enforcement. I got to do a lot of fun stuff, a lot of different stuff. I've worked a lot of big crimes, a lot of big incidences. But of the things I've done, getting to be an SRO is one of the best. Before I decided to become a cop, I got my degree in teaching, so that was the route I was going to go. And now that I'm a deputy, I get to kind of mix, combine both, and I love it. So,
Officer McDonough hopes that everyone would come introduce themselves and get to know him. He hopes that with time, students will see him as a trusted adult who cares about the students and wants to be able to help answer your questions.
Thank you.
yeah, so I think there is no question that I would be offended by or embarrassed by. And, you know, obviously I'm new to this role, but the more that you have interactions with me, if you see things or have questions about literally anything, I just have 14 years in law enforcement. I've seen a lot of stuff, and I'm happy to talk about anything. And it can be personal or it could just be vague, but the more questions you have that I can be insightful and try to assist you with, the happier I'd be. So That's my goal, is to be approachable and trusted as your SRO.
Our reporters would like to thank Officer McDonough for his time and also let students know that the best way to contact him is to set up time with Mr. Fisher.
That's all we have for you this week.
And thank you for tuning in to our Howl broadcast.
And as always,
Go Coyotes!
Ooh.